Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty, we are going to start today in a journey to outer space. So, with the release of the HTC Vive, sorry, and the Samsung Gear, it seems that VR is becoming a lot more accessible than it used to be. So, previously, sort of locked to the realms of the Oculus Rift and its disgustingly high price tag. Now VR is becoming a lot more commercially available for a lot wider range of audience. So on that, we're now seeing a lot of more VR releases, and this one looks positively spectacular. So this is Apollo 11 VR. Now, this is created by a company called Immersive VR Education. Now they're marketing this as a interactive documentary, and it just looks absolutely stunning. It really does, and it takes you on the whole tour of the Apollo 11 flight, everything from the initial launch in the giant Saturn V rocket, all the way to your orbit, then down using the lander to get onto the moon, wandering around, exploring the moon, releasing some of the experiments, and then of course the trip back to Earth as well, and all condensed down to about a 2-hour experience. So this looks absolutely spectacular, and if you have VR technology, just from looking at this, look, for $15, you know what, I think it's going to be a whole new way to experience the story that we all know so well, of humanity taking one giant step. I really think this looks absolutely amazing. Sadly, unfortunately, I will not be able to bring you anything because I currently do not have any VR hardware at the moment. Possibly going to change in the future, but for now, I shall have to just simply sit back and enjoy some of the trailer and watching the reviews of other YouTube users as well. But as I said, this one is fully compatible with both Oculus Rift and with the HTC Vive. No word on whether it works with Samsung's VR or not at the moment. It looks like it might just be the Vive, but we shall see for that coming in the future. As I said, this looks absolutely spectacular, and really for me it shows how far VR has come, and just gives us a taste of where it's going. So yeah, if you've got VR hardware, this is probably going to be something that you're going to want to look at, available now on Steam. Alright, getting ourselves straight from orbit straight onto the ground now. We've got the release of a new simulation slash almost quasi-strategy game. This one in the form of Track Day Manager. So this is brought to us by a startup company called Arctic Hazards. So this is their first game release, and I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty slick is what it is. Now this has been kicking around, and it's been delayed for almost 6 months. It was originally scheduled for release back in 2015, but it was continuously delayed. And you know what? From looking at the video and the screenshots here, I think we should be happy that they did delay it, because it looks absolutely very highly polished and quite beautiful. Now, of course, a lot of these sort of manager games, sort of are questionable whether they're a simulation title or not. But this one, I feel, is a bit more simulation than something like, and I know for the fans out there who do watch this and do enjoy your simulators in the forms of, like, sports clubs owners and football manager associations and stuff like that. I know they're simulation games, but they're a different type of simulation game. This one tries to blend the best of both worlds. So you take on the role of a team manager of a track car, sort of stock car type racing team, and you'll be making a lot of important decisions about things like, with your sponsors, with the colours and stuff like that, and what cars you purchase, how you upgrade them and stuff like that. And then of course the focus, of course, as the title suggests, is on the track day. So actually on race day, instead of actually taking control as the driver, you maintain your role as the manager, but what you do is you actually issue the commands and sort of and team directions to your drivers. So it's a pretty interesting take on it, and you can actually see it all unfold in sort of real time. So I think this is a really interesting take on that thing. Instead of being turn-based or anything like that, it is still it's a full live, no turn-based about it. It's a full live and playing at the same time as you give the orders. So you actually get a real sort of instant sort of view of what your decisions do. So I think it's an interesting little one of this one. So as I said, it's been in early access for a while, off delayed, now finally available. Version 1 is released and available now, and looking quite interesting. So if you want a different type of racing simulation game, you know what? Check this one out, because, as I said, it adds a whole different dynamic to it. And of course, no controller required. So there you go. Now, this is designed as a multiplayer title, interesting enough. And there seems to be some sort of confusion about whether it's a single player or multiplayer. It appears to actually be a multiplayer only title, which is a bit odd. I would have expected like a campaign or something with that one. But anyway, that looks interesting. Excuse me. So yeah, but as I said, it seems to be looking pretty good, and overall a very interesting looking title for a first release from Arctic Hazard Game Studio. So we shall see what the future holds for them. Alright, now moving on into the world of flight simulation. So we're going to go into combat first with the guys over at Digital Combat Simulator. So the guys over at the Fighter Collection Eagle Dynamics, they've released, well, it feels odd calling this one a release, because it's been out for almost 2 years in open beta. So I don't know how well I can say how much this really qualifies as a release, but technically speaking, it is the official launch now. So a few weeks ago, we saw the DCS MiG-15 from Belsimtech come on to full version, and now they've closely followed that up by its arch nemesis, the F-86 Sabre, is now in full release now as well. So again, this has been available in open beta since July 2014, and now is fully available as full release status and fully up to date and fully compatible with DCS version 2. If you've already got it, you're just a free update. Well, you'd hope it was a free update if you already pre-purchased it. If there's an update for that one, it'll come straight through to your DCS client. Otherwise, if you're new to this one, you will be able to pick this one up. You can either pick it up standalone, or you can pick it up as a combo pack with the new Nevada test range, and is fully compatible with DCS 1.5 and with version 2. So that's great to see as well. So for all you your old school sort of combat fans, this is a great one to pick up, especially great to take on with DCS's MiG-15 in combat, and we've got some great battle sort of single and multiplayer missions with that one as well. So looking pretty amazing as always. Alright, moving on from the world of DCS into the world of X-Plane. So Aerosoft have brought us another release for X-Plane 10. So this is Pullman Moscow Municipal Field is now available. So this one is located in the northwest state of Washington. State of Washington, not in Russia. It's something random. We're doing the research for this. I didn't actually realize that there is like 3 Moscows in America. I did not actually know that. I figured that would have sort of, all those towns and cities would have had to have been forced to change their name during like the 50s or something because of fears of the damn Reds. But anyway, apparently not. So yes, this one is available. It looks absolutely amazing. Again, as we often see from Aerosoft, we've got a detailed area of not just the airport, but the area surrounding as well. Complete beautiful blending of photoreal textures, but this not just on the ground but also on the buildings as well, with the HD mesh included for the area as well, and a lot of distinctive objects for the actual city as well, including the University of Idaho is present there as well. So looking damn amazing, and available now for your X-Plane 10 experience from your favorite flight sim retailer. Alright, continuing on with scenery releases this week for, this time for FSX and P3D. So the guys over at France VFR. So a few weeks ago, I think probably about 4 to 6 weeks ago, the guys over at France VFR released their VFR Paris Surround Airport Pack Volume 1, which brought us 10 airports in the sort of greater Paris region. They followed that up now with Pack 2. So this gives us another 10 airports to go with their photorealistic photorealistic, existing photorealistic VFR scenery for the area of for France and surrounding countryside, and it's part of their Paris Unlimited series. So they've sort of renamed some of their and redeveloped some of their older sort of photoreal sceneries and brought them into what's called the Paris Unlimited series. So yeah, they bring some new technology. They're pioneering called 3D automation technology, and as I said, it looks pretty damn amazing. I've always got mixed feelings about photoreal, but these guys with the last pack and this pack seem to be working hard to combine not only photoreal but also with 3D objects as well. And this one again looks pretty similar to the last pack that we saw a little while ago. As I said, you get 10 photoreal airports this one. You got your ground textures are up to half a meter. Again, and this is probably my one fundamental problem I always have with photoreal, is that generally photoreal will only ever do one season, and will not actually do the change of season and multiple seasons like that. So if you want to be able to see like a winter or an autumn landscape, you're not going to get that with photoreal scenery, which is a bit of a shame, and I think loses a lot there. But anyway, as I said, this is available. It does look pretty good if photoreal is your thing, and does look pretty damn amazing. Now they're claiming that the data they've used is georeference data to maximize compatibility for future add-ons. So I'm guessing basically they want you to just keep buying from them, and there's sort of no sort of talk about it, their compatibility with other products as well. So yeah, it could be a mixed bag. But as I said, probably if you're getting this, you probably already are convert to the France VFR range, so you've probably already heard about it. But for everybody else, yeah, it's an interesting thing to look at. As I said, 10 airports, a little high on the price tag, I think, but at the same time, it's coming across not much more expensive than what we pay for a single airport from somebody like Orbix or Aerosoft. So yeah, mix and match there. If photoreal's your thing, probably something you want to grab. Alright, so this is available now from your favorite flight sim retailer now. Alright, moving on into other FSX and P3D news. Well, FSX news at this moment. So the guy, I think it's a single. I'm pretty sure it's a single developer. Suppression Flight. Now they've released their Perfect World 2016 for FSX. Now, I've taken a long, hard look at this, and I've done a lot of research. A lot of research. I've tried to do a lot of research on Suppression Flight, who they are, what they've done, and stuff like that. But information on Suppression Flight seems to be extensively scarce. They've got a range of about 10 products that they've brought out over the last probably about over the last 6 years or so, about 6-7 years. And this Perfect World 2016 basically seems to be sort of like a combo pack of the stuff they've released before. Now, I don't have this product. I haven't got it. I haven't tested it myself. But I have a couple of concerns over it. Now, just reading the description, it sounds like a bad sales pitch. It really does. Like, it talks about having the most realistic environment for your flight simulator in just one package with no performance hits. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. When you're dealing with a piece of software that's 6 years old, you put HD and look amazing stuff, you are going to get a performance hit. You're going to get a frame rate hit. It's a given. If you think you're not, you're nuts. And then there's a few other things that are in here that sort of concern me. Like, it says it's got high quality HD textures. And then it says simulated HD textures. And then it's got HD with a star next to it in the description, with no explanation as to what the star means. And it goes through and it says got, new default nav and beacon strobe lights and new ground markings. And yeah, okay, that's cool. New sky textures, great to have. And new clouds. So this is, at the first read, this kind of basically feels like this is what I'd get if I took Rex 4 and So yeah, Rex Texture Rex, Rex Studios Rex Texture Direct Rex 4. And I added in A2A shockwave lights, and I added in like about half a dozen other sort of add-ons. Bundled them all up, put them all together. But only for €15. Like, that's like $30. And, comparably, Rex textures alone, just for their texture direct, that's €40. Like, it's like double the price. The other concern I have is that the size of it. Now, admittedly, this is decompressed on my hard drive, but Rex 4 alone by itself is like 3 or 4 gig. It's huge. But this is 27 megabytes. That's it. Now, I've got as I said, I've got concerns. As I said, it sounds amazing, but I've got concerns. Now, as I said, I'm not reviewing this. I have not got a copy of this. I haven't reviewed it, but I've got a lot of concerns about it. Now, I've so far only sort of seen one post about this, which has said it's good. But how good's good? Compared to straight default, compared to something like Rex, and looking at the screenshots, it seems to be a very very static environment that's put in there. So yeah, as I said, I'd be very interested to hear from anyone who's got it, and I'd be very interested to hear actually from the developer about how he manages to do all this in only 27 megabytes when ostensibly the product he's competing against is in the gigabyte range. So yeah, as I said, looks interesting, low cost, which is good, but the publisher themselves, Suppression Flight, have had very, very mixed reviews on the products they've released before, and so yeah, it's just raising a few alarm bells for me. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad, because as I said, I haven't reviewed it. I haven't actually got it on my sim. I haven't installed it, but it's raising a lot of red flags for me. So I'm going to leave it at that. This is available now from Sim Market, if you are interested in looking at it and getting it. But yeah, as I said, just take a look. While I've been yakking away, I've been looking at some of the screenshots from it. Just look at the screenshots and make a decision for yourself. But as I said, just bear in mind that what they're offering is something that is ostensibly a lot bigger from other developers. So just throwing it out there. Anyway, as I said, available now from Sim Market, €15. Alright, moving on for other of FSX and P3D releases. So the guys over at Turbine Sound Studios, so they've released another one of their very famous sound packs. So the amazing high quality sound packs that the guys at TSS always produce. This time they've released one for the DC10 using the General Electric CF650 engines. So this one includes both the external and internal engine sounds, winds, cockpit environments, and gear sounds, as well as a whole heap of things as well. Again, like one of their more recent releases as well, it has the high altitude sounds, which recreates the sounds from a distance when standing on the ground looking up. Again, as I pointed out in the last review of the last mention of those sounds from the recent release from Turbine Sound Studios, with offering the same thing. Not sure how useful that is, but we shall see. So is it full HD recordings and suitable for anything that runs 3-engine wide-body jets using the GE CF6 engines. So there you go. As I said, mostly pretty much only running I think they only sort of flew with the DC10 as well. So there you go. But just so you know. Anyway, this is available now from your favorite flight sim retailer for a grand total of around about $15. Alright, now of course on to the biggest release in the P3D FSX world for the last week, which funnily enough came out literally minutes before last week's episode of the NovaWrap came out, is of course A2A Simulations T6 Texan. Now the T6 Texan is an aircraft that I find absolutely beautiful, I really do. I've seen so many of these at air shows. It's not funny. Um, interesting random side note. The reason why the Texan has such a distinct sound is not the engine, it's not the airframe, it's actually the propeller. So the engine is powerful enough that the tips of the propeller blades actually break the sound barrier as they're cutting through the air. So that's very distinctive sort of buzz roar that you get from the Texans as they're flying through the air, because it is actually the tips of the propeller blades actually breaking the sound barrier. So there you go, completely useless fact for you for the day. So again, the A2A have just put their heart and soul into this aircraft, as it always absolutely as they always do with their products. You know, it's an A2A product. It's stunning. It really is. A2A is one of those developers where nobody really cares if something takes forever to release because of the fact that it is always done in such high quality. Now, this ships with AccuSim built into it, so there's no extras, you don't have to buy it separately. It is all fully bundled with the aircraft. And it makes point out that it is a trainer, it's not a combat aircraft or anything like that, but a lot of combat pilots, you know, sort of got their first sort of hands onto a fighter type or a combat type aircraft in the T6. Although combat variants were around, they were used as spotters during the Korean War. Now again, this features all these usual AccuSim features they have. So it is a persistent aircraft. So you know when you shut down, it is actually, you know, everything is simulated in the background. So it'll be there when you fire your sim back up again. And yeah, and it will sort of remember how you treat the aircraft. So remember that one. They've done a lot of detail with, of course, the engine modeling as well. So if you don't treat the engine right, she will blow up on you. And just incredible detail. I think this is possibly going to be one of their most detailed releases. I think today, definitely, I think today this would be close to, if not the most detailed they've done. Looking incredibly done, including how the actual the engine, the airframe, how it vibrates. Like that's it's scary how much the add-on developers, especially A2A, can actually drag out of the ESP engine. It is absolutely stunning. Now this is available. Now it was released across all of the flight simulation sort of stores pretty much at the same time. So this is available for FSX all editions, P3D all editions, and you can either buy them standalone or as part of a bundle. And of course, as with all A2A products as well, if there is a difference in license fee if you own the professional version of P3D, just FYI, so you know that one. Alright folks, well that does almost wrap up the NovaWrap for this week, though of course there is of course the one other release news for the weeks, and that is, well, it's not officially released, but pre-ordering is now available. So Dovetail Games' upcoming Flight School is now available for pre-order on Steam. Now, there's some interesting points here with this one. Now, interestingly enough, when they made the pre-order announcement, they also announced there will actually be a third aircraft for Flight School, which will be the Diamond DA42 Twin Star. So that one is going to be coming to Flight School's skies in about June. Now, at the moment, it is available, as I said, it's available for pre-order. Anticipated release looks like going to be the 25th or 26th of April, so only a few weeks away. Now, interestingly enough, what the guys over at Dovetail have said is that if you pre-order Dovetail Games Flight School before the release, before the 25th, so assuming that means that we're going to see the release on the 26th, that you will get access to the DA42 while it is still in beta. So it is going to be a free add-on, so it will be a bundled aircraft. It will not be DLC. There was mixed messages about that when they first made the announcement that the pre-order was available. So which I'll be honest, I was a little concerned about, but no, that was very quickly clarified. It is going to be a free update inside of Flight School. And the difference is that if you pre-order, you will have access to it while it's in beta. And now, the other really interesting part is the fact that it's scheduled for release in June. And they say that you will get, as a pre-order customer, you will get access to the aircraft 60 days before general release to all other owners of Flight School. Now, June plus, minus 60 days, that's April. Just FYI. So it looks like potentially that if you pre-order Flight School, you will open it up when it unlocks on launch day. You may actually have the third aircraft sitting there all ready to go for you, or if you don't, it'll be really quickly afterwards. Because yeah, pretty much yeah, it's as I said, 60 days before release if it's coming out in June. That's April, guys. So just FYI, you know, if you want to pick yourself up a third aircraft area, maybe think about pre-ordering. So anyway, there you go. As I said, that is now available for pre-order on Steam. Not available on the Windows Store that I've seen as yet, as of recording this video. But as I said, available for pre-order on Steam now for $15 or your local equivalent. Alright folks, thank you very much for joining me. That does now wrap up the NovaWrap for this week. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.